Hi, Mr. President. This message is from Emily and Du Bois to you and your staff or anybody that can help me, because as it is right now, as it stands right now, I'm being mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, physically enslaved by a man named Marcus Franklin using telepathic energy. I was human and sexually trafficked in Oklahoma City using the same telepathic energy that he is now to abuse me, rape me, sodomize me, and physically harm my body every single day, every moment of the day. It started off as I went to Oklahoma City for treatment for a heroin addiction 2 years ago. It's no coincidence that Cushing, Oklahoma, where I went, has the world's, or at least the United States' largest oil reserve in Cushing, Oklahoma. In Oklahoma City, there's a company called Devon Oil, and it's an energy company. And I know you met with Kanye West after you initially took office, and I know Kanye West had a brief moment where he said people shouldn't fear the music industry. People think the music industry has key information about Illuminati bullshit, the scary Illuminati, but really it's the energy companies. And then they made him seem like he was crazy, that he was dehydrated, and they kind of just, they Kanye Wested him. They made him seem like he just didn't know what he was talking about, that he was on tour for too long, or he hadn't gotten much sleep, he hadn't gotten much water. But he did. He knew exactly what he was talking about, because something with these energy companies is not right, and I think you know what I'm talking about. Devon Oil, aka the devil, is an energy company, and they realize that our world is set up like a fish tank, a square like a sheet cake. Now, in this square, you have the sun, and you have the earth, and you have the moon. The moon revolves around the earth, and the earth revolves around the sun, and then you have the 9 planets. Pluto is no longer a planet. It no longer revolves around the sun, which means we are down to 8. The reason we had 9 planets is because they originally symbolized God and the 9 original angels. It also symbolizes the months of gestation, for a woman to carry a baby. The number 8 is an infinity symbol. Infinity is how long heaven goes on for, heaven and earth, because God is never going to let anybody destroy his beautiful art project. He created us and he gave us free will. The ability in the story in Genesis of the serpent that gave us the tree of knowledge, the difference between good and evil, right and wrong. And it's the Garden of Eden symbolized heaven. Our souls were resting, we were at peace, finally, Adam and Eve. And then they are ready to rejoin the workforce. They were ready to rejoin the workforce as in reincarnation, which used to be widely accepted in Chinese culture. And that's where the astrological and zodiac signs come in, because the planets are made up of different minerals, different components of the periodic table, and of elements that we may not even know of yet. Different types of energies, different types of zinc oxides, any sort of chemical or mineral that our bodies may need. And those minerals build who we are. They give us our traits. That's why when you're born on January, you're Scorpio, you're Leo. If you're born in August, or they have specific dates depending on the moon and how much energy you have, you're loyal, you're trustworthy. That's where your different traits come in. Because if you think about it, when you perish, when your physical bodies are no longer capable of housing your mind and your spirit and your soul, you go up to heaven and you rest and you walk with the Lord and you talk to the Lord and you see your past lives and how you progress, because it all started with one. And in Genesis it says, and God said, let us make them in our image. Meaning God is more than just one, he's a whole. So it started with him, and then we branched out, and he gave us the free will to branch out. So we all have our own different opinions. So we would have an endless world to discover and create. But what happened in this world, and he knew it would happen, is we became divided. We became divided, and it became more about the almighty dollar than the almighty himself. Anyway, back to Devon Oil. I met a man named Jermaine Spencer. The story is a little bit complicated, but anyway, I'll get back into Jermaine in a minute. Devon Oil realized that all of us are energy. Everything is energy in this world. We're created with love energy. We're created with a bond, atom. If you think of atom, you think of a molecular bond, a triangle, like the Holy Trinity, like an atom, a molecule, a covalent bond. And one of those bonds is love, and the rest of it is physical, science. And that's Eve. It would be the nature and nurture. It's not just one or the other. So scientists say God doesn't exist, and God loving people that say that science is wrong, it's not big. It's all in one. God is the master scientist. He's the master electrician. He's the master at everything. Everything came from him, stemmed from him. Everything we do is because he created us. So in essence, he created everything. I mean, our world encompasses the whole, the entirety, the unity of one. So if somebody creates the science to have an abortion, God put the knowledge in their head for us to be able to do that. So there is no right or wrong. There is no right or wrong path. And he did this on purpose because everything in life is a blessing or a lesson. And the more you fall, the more you pick yourself back up, the stronger you get. All right. But back to Devon Oil. So Devon Oil realized that we were created with this bond and that we were created with energy. And there's a reason that we fight for oil when we have a surplus of it. There's a reason we start wars in areas that are heavily populated or contain a lot of oil. Because, as I said, the world's set up like an aquarium. Underneath our revolving earth and our moons is also the other side, which is the heavens above. So they're above and then below us, like an aquarium. So we have the stars above and we have the stars below, which is heaven, which is all energy. And that's how, that's why we have found remnants of beings, skulls of people that have had larger than life heads than us. Because as we go through these cycles on earth, of heaven and earth, and that's what the pyramids were built for. The pyramids were built because back when reincarnation and this knowledge was prevalent, before it kind of lost touch with us, we knew that we could find out when Pangea was here, we knew that we could find out where we were. It was almost like a Nintendo Wii map, where the pyramids were Phillips stations for us to be able to look up into the stars and see where we were on the map of our zodiac, and to follow that, And then Pangea happened. Well, then the dinosaurs happened, and then Mother Nature froze them. So what happened is Mother Nature froze the dinosaurs and the prehistoric plants. And the world was supposed to be set up like a time-release tablet. So all that energy, because the dinosaurs and prehistoric animals were all over the world. It wasn't just reserved to one area in spots where there's spots where there was tar or oil. It was all over the world. But what happened was people got greedy. And they started drilling for oil. And with this energy comes telepathy. Because all of our thoughts, anything that you think, anything you do, energy cannot be created or destroyed. So it started with one, and it's going to end with one as a whole. You can't create or destroy it. Either it gets stored, it's kinetic, I don't know the quantum physics of it, but I know the spirituality of it. So this company also knew that. And what happened is they drilled so much, because the fracking in Oklahoma City is so bad that they have earthquakes every other day, 2 or 3 times a day. But anyway, I started getting the feeling that people were watching me. The police started pulling me over, and, almost out of amusement to them, they would know facts about my mind. They would know facts about me that only I would know in my mind. Who I was with the night before, who bought me a ticket home, if I used drugs that day, if I didn't, if I freaking just who picked me up at my home once. The police, I was pulled over and stopped by them, and they said, so what time did Big Mike and Juice, these 2 men that I know, pick you up? And I look at the cops and I'm like, how do you know this? What do you, and I went to the police station originally a year ago, and I said, I think there's cameras all over my house. I think there's cameras all over my house. They told me to get the fuck out of the police station. Literally kicked me out of the police station, told me never to come back. It wasn't good enough for me because I knew something was fucked up about it. And that's kind of when all hell broke loose. What happened is they drilled so much in Oklahoma City that all the energy, because we are all one. All of us are one. Prehistoric plants, animals, it's all connected to one. So they drilled so much that this energy seeped up into the air. Now, what happens when you look, what I've seen in Oklahoma City, and I've never thought I'd ever see this before, is out of instinct, we have a part of our brain called the reptilian section, which is fight or flight. And it's macro and micro. So on a whole scale, on a macro scale, we have the reptilian part. There's different levels to life. So there were dinosaurs, and then there were people. On a human scale, we have the reptilian part of our brain, which would be equivalent to the macro of the dinosaurs, but the micro in our brain was the original part of our brain, fight or flight. Because dinosaurs couldn't comprehend feelings. They couldn't get along with each other. They didn't love. They were vulgar and attackers. Their primary purpose was to eat, procreate, and kill. Or the plant ones. But this includes prehistoric plants as well. Anyway, for the first time in my life, I looked at someone when they took me to a hospital because they started realizing I was catching on to what was going on. So they started taking me to a hospital and saying I was crazy, and I wasn't. I looked at a nurse who got real angry with me because I wanted to leave and they were detaining me illegally because I didn't do nothing wrong. And her eyes became slitted. When you say show pictures of evil reptilian aliens, they aren't aliens. There's one world and we're all human. But what happened is the oil from the ground made them connect more, made them telepathic, and when they get angry, like an instinct, their eyes can become slitted. This is the God's honest truth. This is what happened to me. So they started taking me to the hospital more and more. And these people tortured me. They always knew what I was thinking. I went to Greyhound bus station to leave once, and the Greyhound worker said, we're no longer a public transportation system in Oklahoma City. We're no longer public. Greyhound bus station said that to me. He said something like, and don't you think you deserve to have lost your ticket because I was with that man named Jermaine Spencer the night before, and we were out, like partying and fighting. It's just, they knew my whole entire life, almost as if like I was transparent. My thoughts were transparent, like it would be in heaven. So instead of having the barrier, because the only person that should be in your mind and in your thoughts is you and God, and that's it. But for the first time ever, what they were going and what they were planning on doing, and that's why Oklahoma is shaped like a boiling pot, because there are no coincidences in life. There are no coincidences in life. It's shaped like a boiling pot because it was the start of hell. They knew about this telepathic energy, and they were going to start thought policing all of us. I believe I tried to stop it, or did stop it. And I'm going to tell you a story. The man named Jermaine Spencer, I was staying with him. This is after I lost my apartment, lost my car, because my family thought I was crazy. Jermaine would call my dad and say, she's crazy, Phil, she's crazy, Phil, she's just high. I wasn't even using drugs, sir, Mr. President. I wasn't even on drugs. I was on a mission to find out why the fuck these police were detaining me, were torturing me, could know things that only you would know if you had cameras. I mean, I would be looking through my car for cameras. And it's all telepathic energy. Now, do not mistake this for psychic energy. Psychic energy is when you can see the future. Psychic energy is when you can see into the future. This telepathic energy is when you can hear someone's thoughts very clearly. If you look at someone's face and they have like something wrong with it, or you think someone's like a bigger, larger man, and you go up to them and they get like embarrassed, it's like that, but more. They can actually hear your thoughts. They are all telepathic. And I've seen about 4 people slit their eyes in Oklahoma City. And they weren't even that bad of people. The really bad people is this man named Marcus Franklin and this woman named Kelli Jenkins. Now, the way energy works is hate, anger is faster, is a moving energy, is a very fast moving energy, like a boiling pot of water. When it gets real hot, when you get real heated, when you get real aggravated, it goes faster. So these people somehow, for some reason, this was all meant to happen. But this man, Marcus Franklin, and this woman, Kelli Jenkins, are in my mind 24 hours a day using telepathic energy. Now, what they do to me is insane. All they have to do is think about raping me, and I feel like I'm being raped. All they have to do is think about throwing spiders on me that bite and burn, and I feel like I have spiders all over me. All he does is put his fat face on my vagina and pretend to sexually satisfy me in my vaginal area, rape me every day. And I can see it, an outline of him. He's not clear in front of me. I can't punch him. I can't knock him out because it's all done through his mind. It's all done through his mind using telepathic energy. And there's an article called the Stargate experiment where we use, it's called psychic torture. And it's the worst form of torture known to man. And these people have been doing it for me, or to me, for a year. This woman pissed on me. So all she has to do in Oklahoma City is take a pee, urinate, and pretend she's, all she has to do is think about peeing on me. I felt the hot pee go down my leg, but I can't wipe it off because it's not really there. But I can smell the odor of pee. It's the most disgusting and enslaved thing. So what happened is I started, this is the last time I came home this all started happening, but while I was there, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse, and I knew something was different about me, and I knew something was different about this town, because I saw things that I've never seen before, like I said, like the slitted eyes, and then I started piecing it all together like one giant puzzle, because the more they treated me like I was an outcast, like there was something wrong with me, that I wasn't like them, because Devon Oil owns that town, the more I started to be by myself and I started to talk to God and I started to think. Now, when you think, you pray. That's why they say a dog is a man's best friend, because you talk to your dog, it doesn't talk back, but you're talking. You're getting out your problems. You are working on yourself. Now, this also goes for rapping, singing, dancing, any form of self-expression that you're getting out energy that isn't stored and building up as hate or negativity, that isn't subtracting from your personality, your soul, your essence. You're building your self-character. You're making yourself a better person. Everything is considered praying. But the word praying is so unpolitically correct now. It's not praying, you're just working on yourself. And when you work on yourself, you work on other people. When you work as a whole to make other people feel better as well. When I was in Oklahoma City, I could curl, because the energy was so different. I could curl my hair with my finger. I had green eyes. I could sing and I could rap like a rap star. I swear to God. And I think that Kevin Gates has something to do with this. And I think this might be the rapture that they talk about in Revelations in the Bible. Because if you think about it, with the slitted eyes, the prehistoric plants, dinosaurs, a rapture is a dinosaur. And then to rap is to pray. When you rap, when you're fucking freestyling your heart or your soul, you're getting all your emotions out. When you're rapping, you're praying. That's why they call it to rap. Let's rap, let's talk. When you go to a psychiatrist, you talk, you talk out your problems. You work on yourself. Let's rap. I think this was it. This was the beginning of the end. And I don't know how much you know about this, but I do know you went with Kanye West, and I know Kanye West said something bad about the energy companies, and they just dismissed him to make it seem like he was just crazy. And I'm not crazy, because seeing is believing, and I've seen it all. So they started taking me to hospitals and crisis centers. I tried everything, They made it so I couldn't rent a motel room anywhere. They would bet on how long I could go without taking a shower. In the jail, they beat me. Outside the jail, they arrested me. They arrested me 8 times for trespassing. They human and sexually trafficked me. okay, physically and telepathically, but the emotionalness of it was by far the worst. I would rather be burnt alive every single day than have this man do what he does to me all day long. He is in my energy, in my mind. I can hear him clear as day. He is a real man. This is not post-traumatic stress disorder. So Devon Oil, I think, found out that with methamphetamines, methamphetamines makes your mind, you stay awake faster. It makes your mind operate at a higher speed, which creates more energy. So which you can smoke, you do methamphetamines all out in the open in Oklahoma City, which is weird, you know? And the jails are not full, trust me. So they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing with this energy thing, because that combined with the fracking creates one tunnel of telepathic energy. They took me to a hospital. They did something to my vagina. They told me where I couldn't have children. They pulled it with some sort of energy, making like a rosette on it at St. Anthony's Hospital. They drew blood from me 3 times in 1 week, jabbing me over and over again with needles. I thought I was on, I didn't think I was on a spaceship. I knew I was in St. Anthony's Hospital, but, I mean, these people are evil. And I never thought that was possible. I didn't think people could actually be evil, but what they did to me was beyond nightmarish, was beyond anything I've ever encountered in my life. So this is what happened. Jermaine Spencer and I started talking, and one night we were at the Green Carpet Motel Room. And I got the feeling people were watching me, like I said, and the police started acting all weird and stuff. And, you know, one night I was there, and he said, "Do you want to sell your soul to the devil?" And I said, "Sell my soul to the devil? Like, what the fuck is that?" You know, just looking at him like, no. At first I said, no. I said, "Well, what does that entail?" And he said, "We'll be able to talk telepathically." And I don't know if I heard it telepathically or he said it out loud. But I said, well, you know, I didn't really think about hell or nothing like that. I said, "Will we be happy together forever?" Because I thought, you know, if he's the devil and I'm selling my soul to him, I want to ensure that I'm going to be happy forever. And he said, "Together, forever, happy." And I said, okay. So he put his hands on my chest, and I felt this influx of heat energy enter my body. And I wasn't high. I swear to God, this testimony is true. And all it takes is just dash cams and body cams and polygraph tests to figure out what happened to me. But anyway, and I felt this influx of heat, and I could start talking to him using my mind. And I was like, what the hell? What the hell is this? Like, are you serious? I had the biggest smile on my face, like, what? Like, what is this? You know, what the hell is this? Is this for real? And he was like smiling and laughing, like, really? That's it? I just sold my soul to the devil, now we can talk like this? Like, what they were doing is using it for the prostitutes in Oklahoma City, because in your mind, when you're telepathic, everything seems real. Everything seems more real. Like I said, that man, how he enslaves me, I can really feel him on top of me, raping me. And it's a foreign energy. He's all hate energy. So the other day I had to go to the doctor because he's around me so much, and it's a foreign body that my booger, it's almost like a dirty energy, like my cilia. When you have a booger in your nose, you know, when a booger forms, because a foreign object is in there, it's because dust particles have gone and attached to the cilia on your nose. So when he's around me, I have boogers that form. I had to have 8 times my ears drained for big wax because I was completely clogged in my ears, because he's always around me. He's throwing spiders on me, scorpions that burn. I'll just lay in my bed, and the worst part is he's taking my energy. It's like that's where the term vampires come in, when they suck your energy. They're energy suckers. So I just laid on my bed all winter, Your Honor, Sir, Mr. President, while this man raped me and took all my energy. And all I could do, I couldn't watch TV, I couldn't walk around, and I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what was going on. You know, he kept saying we're evil reptilian aliens, blah, blah, blah. And I really thought that that's what they were, until I started fighting, and I started getting up, and I started thinking more. They kept my brain at a constant rate because they were constantly in it. And I started talking to God more. And everywhere I looked, I saw signs of God and spirituality. And that's when I really started getting the whole picture. And God's telling me, Emily, their own technology, fuck them. I've never had to punish before. There's never been a hell before, because I've given you all free will. This is the first time ever that anyone's ever enslaved somebody by their soul, by their spirit, in their mind. Because like I said, the only person that should be in your mind is God and yourself. And this man has not left. I have begged the woman. She finally stopped when I started posting stuff online on Facebook.